Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Adobe Spark. This is a fantastic free package for single page video guides and storytelling tool. Now, you may not have heard of Adobe Spark as it's not part of the CC package, so to speak, but it is freely available and is also available on iPad and iOS devices. All you need to do is simply log on to the spark.adobe.com website, sign in with your Adobe ID. If you do not have one, you can create one for free, and you'll be greeted with a page quite similar to this. Now, as you see, I already have projects and examples already created here, but we'll start from scratch for today's purpose. First thing I need to do is press this little plus button here, and I'll be greeted with three options. Do I want to create a post, which is essentially a single image with text kind of quotation thing? Do I want to create a page, which is a sort of single page web page where you scroll down and you can add links, video embeds, and more? And then there's the video option, which gives us the option to create very quick, simple lesson pictures, plans, and presentation videos where we can put our voice over the top and use very simple graphics to go in line with it. Today we'll be looking at the page option, so I'll press the middle option here. And straight away we're greeted with this sort of blank template. Now, Adobe Spark is very self-explanatory. It does try and guide you through, so this guide will hopefully just be a kind of very quick overview. So I'll do this as quick as possible. So we just simply click where we want to add information. So I'll go with my wonderful Spark page by Stephen Fisher. Now, as we go up and down the page, scroll up and down, you'll see these little plus icons, which if we click on them, gives us options. So in our head option here, we can add a photograph. We could add photographs from our desktop, from the Creative Cloud, from Lightroom, from Dropbox, from Google Photos. For this, I'm just going to upload a photo from my desktop. So we will just get an image from here somewhere. Let's see what I could do with. I'll just use this as a background for now. And our image is now uploaded. I can edit our image if I want to, so I can adjust the focal point. I could always replace it and delete it whenever I want to. To add content, I simply scroll down, click on the little plus icon here, or it'll be greeted like this. And I can add anything from a photograph to text, buttons, which can be your web links, video embeds, which can be from Vimeo or YouTube, photo grids, which are basically like a gallery where you can click on a photo and see it on full screen, or a glide show, which is a combination of photograph and text, which changes as you scroll up and down the page. I'll start off with some text to show you the options we have available to us there. So I'll just type in a bit of spoof text. Now, you don't have the options to change the font style. The fonts are dictated to by the theme. By default, it will select a theme for you, which looks like this. But if we go to our theme button up here, we can scroll through some of the inbuilt effects, and we can change it at any time, and that will also affect our color, our styling, and our text options. So if I go back over to our text and I change to H1 or header 2, or I can make it quotation, bullet points, number points, etc, etc. Again, you see there's very little options. I can't adjust the size, I can't change the font style or the color. That is all dictated to us by our themes. I can make it bold, make it italic, turn it into a web link. So I could go to google.com, and that is now a web link. If I clicked on it, it would go to Google. I can adjust its paragraph positioning, and that is basically all I can do. Now, as soon as I've added some content, it will give me another plus icon underneath to say, do you want to add more, basically, and you can do this for as long as you want. Now, best practice is to not put too much content onto your page, because users will not necessarily want to scroll for hours, basically. So try to keep your information condensed, which is what Adobe Spark is all about. Condensed, to the point information and presentation. So this time I'm going to find a photo from the Adobe Creative Cloud. So I'm going to look for something to do with technology. So let's have this camera in here. Now, as you see, by default it puts it in as an inline image, but we can change that. So we could make it a full screen. So it essentially is a kind of like window almost. Speaking of window, there we go. Window is more 16:9 condensed, not as big, doesn't take as much as a vertical space. I can make it a full width, where it is the image essentially to its full width of size. This is great for certain size images, but if you've got a very large image, you'd have to scroll down quite a bit of way to get to the actual information content. We could move this, so if I wanted to make this image above this text, I could press move and press the up button. So it now goes introduction, image, welcome. I'm going to change that back though, because I don't quite like that like that. There we go. I could always replace it or delete it, but what I'm going to do now is just put this back into an inline style image. Now with our image selected, below it we are given the options to add a caption. If you're using images from Creative Cloud, it also does fill in the information for you for the metadata. I'm just going to re-import that image because it seems to remove my caption option. Don't quite understand why it's done that. But the same thing can be done in this style here. And then I'll change this back to inline. Oh, there we go. Right, basically sometimes you have to scroll down and it'll make your caption appear. That's what I kind of mistakenly did there. We can also add buttons. Now again, we don't have a lot of options on the styling of our button. This is again dictated to us by our theme. So I can make this into another web link. So I'll call this Google link. Now it's important to call your button something that is relevant to the actual destination of that button. I can adjust its position, and then when I'm happy with what I've done, press save, and there we go. That would be an active link when ready. A photo grid works a similar way. I can select multiple images. I can adjust the priority of these images in order. I can make images larger or smaller, depending on how I want my grid to be laid out. And this can be as many images as I want. These don't have to be from the fine photos. These could be uploaded photos from your own computer. Again, I can add a caption to this gallery, essentially. I could also do video. So I can press the video option. I can go to something like Vimeo or YouTube. In this case, I'm going to go to YouTube and grab this Adobe Spark video here. I grab the share link, and then I paste the share link into there. I press save, and there we go. There's our embedded video. We haven't had to do any adjustments. It will keep it to the center of our page, and if the user wants to make this full screen, they can do so by pressing the play and the full screen option as if it was in YouTube. Very simple, very quick. That is what Adobe Spark is all about. Now a glide show, it works a very similar way to our photo options. So if I pull this wheel here up, I can put in multiple pictures, so I'll just bring in some random images from here. Again, you'd spend a bit more time than what I'm doing. But as you see, now I've got these three options in. I can scroll down. I could add content into here if I wanted to, so I could add an image in there and add a bit of caption of cameras through ages. And as I scroll down, it will change from one image to the next. I could add videos in here, text in here. I could leave this blank and this wouldn't appear. And I can just keep scrolling down and it'll change between all the images I've added. And essentially, that's how I build up your Adobe Spark page. To preview at any point, you press the preview button, and this will essentially create you a preview build or an unlisted version of the web page. Now, Adobe Spark does autosave. That is something worth noting. As you see, because I've used images from the Adobe Spark library, it automatically credits the images and their sources. To exit preview, I simply click on the little X in the top corner there. And then when I'm completely finished with this, I just press the share button. I pick a category. So I'll just put this as other. I can have my author information on or off. I can remove the branding if I so wish to, and I can even turn it off from the Adobe Spark website so it becomes unlisted. The advantage of an unlisted link is this is people without the link cannot view your Spark page. This is great for academic purposes. So I'll press create. And then here we go. That is simply the link I would require to share onto various resources, and that's how users can access my Spark page. Now if I go back to Adobe Spark Home here, and I create new, and this time I'm going to create a animated video. So I simply click on the video option here, and it asks us to tell us what our story is about. So how to guide, let's give it a title, and we have some various templates we can work from. So to promote an idea, tell us what happened, the hero's journey, show and tell, etc, etc. These kind of give you guidelines of how you should structure your video content. So if I go with teach a lesson and wait for this to load, there you go. There is a get started guide video that it will always introduce you to, unless you don't click that. So if we click our view lessons, it gives us basically some guideline slides of how we should lay out our content. These do not actually appear unless we add content into here, as it were. And to add our voice, at any point we can just press this record button and hold it down as we are adding the content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an icon. So I'm going to put an icon, look for an icon for a teacher, and put this image in here. I'll allow my microphone to be used. Hello, I am testing this out to show how recording my voice works with Adobe Spark Video. Now, my voice is recorded there. As you can see, it's given it 6 seconds, which is for how long I've spoken, which means this slide, when played, will last for the duration of 6 seconds. This is worth noting in the sense of however long you speak is how long that slide is shown to the user. So if I go to here, and then I can change the layout if I wanted to at any point by clicking the layout button up here, and I'll put a photo of a teacher here. Again, I could upload my own photos on my machine, but I am not going to do that on this occasion. I could also add some text like hello world. As you see, it is very easy to add content. And if I want to remove a page, I can just click on these 3 little dots up here and delete these slides from our presentation, or video in this case. Delete all those, I just want these 2 for the purposes of showing this off. I can even add music, so I could preview this music by simply clicking on it, waiting for the link to load. This can take a while. But I could add music in that sense. I can also adjust our themes as we did with the Adobe Spark page. So if I change the theme, it will change our style and look of our themes accordingly. Again, there are limited options, but that is what Adobe Spark is great for, is just simply getting the content in there, not spending the time faffing about with the layouts and visual look of it so much. And if I want to play my video, I can just press this little play button here. Wait for it to load. Now this is one downside I have noticed of Adobe Spark Video, is it does take a while to load, even though I've got a fantastic internet connection here. I'll just leave that for now. I could also preview my video as I would before, which again would show us our video playing in action. And likewise, I can share it. Again, if I want it to be unlisted, I make sure the get noticed is off. I then also have to pick a category, as with all cases, give it some guides and information, etc. And then I can just create our unlisted link. Now with Adobe Spark Video, you can actually also download your video. So if I press the download option, it will prepare our video for download. Now it's worth noting, obviously, the more content you add into your Adobe Spark video, the longer this will take as a process. So there we go, it downloads as an MP4 by default. Let's just make sure I've shared that. Creating our unlisted link. You can also do all this on your iOS device by simply downloading the Adobe Spark application, which is again freely available, and you can use your inbuilt microphone on your phone or tablet. So again, if I want to share this, I would copy this link and distribute it to those who I wish to see the content. Now what I'll do is I'll show you the last Adobe Spark option. So I'll go back to our Adobe Spark, or I can click on this little menu here to choose here, but I will go back to here. I can press the plus button again. I can go to post. So what do I want to say? I want to say how to guide again, because again, I'm just doing this for an example. I can pick a graphic size, so do I want it to be for Twitter, Facebook, post, or slides? I will put this for Twitter size for the purposes of demonstration. As you see here, we have some themes that it gives us again that we can choose from. So if we want to just go with a very quick stylization, so it puts our text in like so. We could find a photo. I'm going to put a photo of, I'll put this photo again. Wait for it to upload. Once our photo is in, we've got various styling options, so we could apply an effect to it. We can add a background color, which will remove our photo, which I'm not going to do, but you can kind of get the idea of what that would do. I could also resize at any point our post image that we're creating, and our palette for our text and color schemes for our information. I can go to our text panel here and I can change the style with this style wheel. I can adjust the shape of our text, how it is displayed to us. So I can put it inside a circle if I wanted to. What I'll do, I can adjust the color of our text. I can also pick a font from a inbuilt library of fonts with Adobe Spark. I can adjust our alignment by just clicking on the align button until I'm happy with what I've got. Adjust the opacity. If I click on the actual text, I can also move it around by clicking and dragging. I can add some rotation by clicking the rotate button and moving my wheel of a mouse. I can adjust the size of our text by dragging the text box around. I can add more text by clicking on our canvas and adding text or photographs to our piece. So I can go hello to add extra information to our graphic. I could add a photograph, so I will just find a photograph of a cat because the internet likes cats. Oh, okay, so things like that. I can just scale. And when I'm happy with everything I've done, I can just press the share button as I've done with everything I've done so far. I can make it unlisted again if I want to. Again, there's a download option. If I want to distribute this myself on my machine, I can create an unlisted link. And then again, I've got a link that I can now copy and paste into various options such as online websites or social media and distribute to those who want to see it. So that is Adobe Spark Post. I hope this has been of some use to yourselves. If you've got any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I've been Stephen Fisher, and I will be doing more help to guides in the future. Thank you.